Presiden Republik Demokratik Timor Leste, Jose Ramos Horta berkunjung ke kampus UIN Jakarta dalam rangka mengisi kuliah umum yang digelar di Auditorium Harun Nasution pada Rabu 20 Juli 2022. Kedatangan Presiden Jose Ramos Horta disambut hangat oleh Rektor UIN Jakarta, Amani Lubis, para wakil rektor, para dekan, dan seluruh sivitas akademika. Presiden Jose Ramos Horta mengatakan setiap ajaran agama selalu mengajak pengikutnya untuk menjaga nilai-nilai perdamaian, karena pemaksaan terhadap suatu ajaran agama adalah hal yang tidak dibenarkan oleh agama apapun. Oleh karena itu, upaya untuk memahami toleransi agama dan budaya harus dilakukan. Dengan begitu, agama dapat berkontribusi besar dalam mengurangi permasalahan sosial, ekonomi, dan politik di masyarakat.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Rector, for inviting me to speak here today. I want to say this to Vice Rector, Deans, faculty, students, distinguished guests. I wish to also acknowledge our Prime Minister who is here, Chair of the Cabinet, Chief of Staff, our Minister of Transportation and Communications, and members of Parliament from Timor-Leste, President of the Democratic Party, Timor-Leste is here, Dr. Antonio, who works with me in my office as head of Human Fatality Initiative, and I presume there are other here who I'm not seeing. A great pleasure, privilege, always to be back in Indonesia. Rather Sagrada. I was didn't expect to see you here today. A great city. And first, let me share with you my personal experience with Indonesia. Way back in the late 60s and early 70s, myself and a few other people like Nicolau Lohato, Dr. Maria Alcantiri, Giuseppe Guterres, a few others, we are not a big number, 10, 20 people, who are hoping to come to study in Indonesia. And I was hoping to come to study journalism. I went to see the then Indonesian consul in Dili, Salam Ghani. Later he left and 10 years later I gave him the list of people to study. And the plan is to study globalized support in Indonesia for our ultimate goal to fight for remain independent for democracy. Well, Parliament actually ran very fast. By 1974, so we ended up not coming to Indonesia to study. But during that period, very frequently, I would go to the areas of our home. We became friends. He passed away, his wife. Some family members still alive today, and we are still in touch more than 40 years later. And they have visited me in the Then in 1974, the Nation Revolution happened in Portugal. The new Portuguese regime recognized the right of all its colonies to self-determination and independence, and included the colonies. We created a movement, later became the League, before that the Social Democratic Party, Social Democratic Association. The very first act that we do, we were very young, zero experience in diplomacy, zero experience in politics, but one common concern was we must begin with approaching Indonesia to talk about our desire to achieve that trade. In that regard, I traveled to Kupang, and I think that trade I took was Zandu, a World War II plane, a Indonesian airline company called Zandu. I was very American pilot. He looked like someone from Vietnam era or Korea War. Very flamboyant, very cowboy style. We flew them all. And I went to Kupang to see Gubernur Brigadier General El Tari. And I knew El Tari before. And I cultivated El Tari with a Portuguese governor in Nordeste called Fernando Alves Almeida, very open-minded individual, conservative, studying the colonial government in Portugal, but he was very open-minded, very intelligent. And I spoke this time to time at his invitation. I advised him, Governor, you should invite your colleague from Luzon, even to visit Timor. At the time was called Portuguese Timor. He immediately agreed. Diplomatic channels open between Kupang and Jakarta, and between Lisbon and Gillian, Lisbon, and then the two sides, Lisbon and Jakarta, long. And Gubernur El Tari came to Delhi, Timor-Leste. First time, a private jet landed in our small airstrip. Thousands of people spontaneously greeted El Tari. When the next day we solemn ceremony of greeting the governor, I was also invited to Kiwan, and I was not the only person among all 51 who greeted him. I was the only person he gave a big warm embrace. Many people looked at him with suspicion what was my agenda, my relationship with the government, people, and the day. It was because of that reason that my first day to Jakarta, I went through Kupang to seek advice and support for El Tari. And I was alone. I had money only to get to Kupang, no money from Kupang to Jakarta. And I had no idea how to travel from Kupang to Jakarta. El Tari took care of my travel and called one of his assistants called Luis Napoli. I never saw Luis again, I don't know whether he's still alive. And called Luis Napoli and said, you go with Ramos. El Tari called me, Ramos, go with him to Jakarta, look after him, don't allow any bad people to this guy. I arrived in Jakarta, all his days I lost him. But Luis Taole was supposed to look after me, disappeared. He never showed up again. Of course, he came from Cuba to Jakarta. He was probably most enthusiastic about being in Jakarta. He went on his whole life in Jakarta. But soon I met up with George Alijondo. Tempo had just started. Hari Kawilaran, Sila Tarapan, Agus Barengwa, Kompas, Sabang Siadrian, Sila Tarapan, later Jakarta Post. And it was Hari Kawilaran who drove me on his motorbike, his scooter. And when he wouldn't pick me up, I would rent a scooter myself and drive around Jakarta. And or I would take lecture. And sometimes when I think back what I did in 74 in Jakarta, I thought myself, you were great. I could have died an accident. Yeah. Not the way to big city. And, but obviously I didn't die. And Jakarta had only 3 main hotels. Hotel Indonesia, Kartika Plaza, Kartika Chandra. Of course, I didn't stay in Ireland. I stayed in San Jose, in June. Since then, it's slowed down, like many other old houses that try to be way to be dynamic by the cosmopolitan city in Jakarta. I met Mark Malik, Adam Malik. Though young, isolated in hotel, I read about Pandu's government, I read about Sukarno. I became one of the biggest fans of Sukarno today. Our deputy here, Mariano Sabino Asadamis, young from Spanish Indonesia. He didn't study much because he was mostly fighting for people less in Indonesia. Maria Pena. I always go to him because when he speaks in Timor-Leste, I tell you sound like Boone Carno speaking. He's a good speaker. So I was a big fan of Sukarno. I read all the books about him. One book written by an American lady called Simi Adams. I read, no, Cynthia, yes, I read about the independent struggle of Indonesia against the Dutch. I read a book by a lady called Tutuk Kandana about Bali. So that was my very early information about Indonesia. But even though we were next door to Indonesia through NTT, we in the forest were cut off, isolated for 100 years. Cultural language nationalism, what is today, you know, zoom forward, fast forward to today. 98% Catholic, several languages, altogether 4 languages stipulated in our constitution, 2 official languages, Tetum, Portuguese, but Tetum itself developed, particularly in the last 20 years, one of the fastest developing languages that I have witnessed in my lifetime. Primarily borrowing from Portuguese, some from Indonesia, particularly important numbers, and occasionally from English. So a language in dynamic evolution, dynamic formation. Daily we find a new word, new vocabulary. But the Tetum language actually was a minority language in Timor-Leste during the Portuguese time. Mambai is a majority ethnic group and a majority language. But Tetum began to be used by the Portuguese missionaries to Christianize. Then, during the liberation struggle, the resistance used Tetum. Then the Catholic Church introduced Tetum as the language of liturgy in replacement of Portuguese and Latin. So, the Catholic Church is one of the greatest builders, formers of Timorese identity. Today we can say Timor-Leste is one of the most homogeneous countries in the region, in the world, in terms of language. Tetum language today is spoken by more than 80% of the people. A language still in development, in modernization, but language developed because of the people in the market, people in the streets. And in as much as our Tetum Language Institute try to discipline the use of Tetum language, people are the ones who make a language. And in France, the French are tremendously committed to the purity of the French language. There is a French National Institute to preserve the purity of the French language. But if you look at the day-to-day conversation, particularly in the field of science and technology, so many English words violated the purity of the French language. Tetum is completely from what it was Tetum Bay, original Tetum to today, it has become almost another language. But that is natural. The pillars of Timorese identity is this 98% Catholic, the Tetum language, and Catholicism. These are what have made tribes ceased to exist long ago in Timor-Leste. There are distinct ethnic groups, Malay, Polynesian, Melanesian, but spread all over the country in that small confined space of 50,000 square kilometers. So it is by through colonization, through Christianity, through the movement of people within the country, through the resistance over 24 years, the country that emerged, I would say, very homogeneous. But allow me to fast forward to what we are today. Looking back, a process of 20 years of nation building, state building, of healing the wounds of the past, and the wounds in the Timorese society, in the nation, come from many different sources. There is no black and white process of assigning blame where conflicts emerge within communities, conflicts emerge over political rivalries, and sometimes political rivalries trying to manipulate ancient identity. All of these. The Indonesian intervention in 1975 further divided the country with loyalty and so on. So immediately after independence, even before, one of our greatest leaders in the past, Nicolas Bato, exceptional human being, exceptional intellect, studied together in a Catholic school called Trevada. Later he went to seminary. His message from day one of the struggle was always, we are not fighting the people of Indonesia, we are fighting for independence. Never throughout 24 years of history of struggle and suffering, there was any demonization of the Indonesian people as they did. Came Saman Guzman in 81 following the death of Nicolas Bato, military tobacco by on our side in 75 all the way up to 77, 81. In the midst of the conflict, the serious internal crisis, emerged another extraordinary human being. Who is more well known in Indonesia. Sonama spent 8 years in what we call university, and that's the Sipinang University. He fought in the mountains, in the valleys, in the rocks. He engaged to study. He engaged in Kuala Hospital area to study how to reorganize the resistance, how to reorganize the threatening party. He spent weeks and weeks hidden just started to reorganize the movement. In 92, he was Catholic and was tried and became to serve life prison sentence in Indonesia, initially condemned to life in prison, but then reduced generously to 24 years. But he served only 8 years, and according to himself, he learned about Indonesia, learned to love Indonesia by Singapore, and made many friends. It drove him, but also the legacy of Nicolau Lobato, that we pursue national healing, national reconciliation, and reconciliation with Indonesia. One does not forget the past. No legal instrument can exist to decree forgiveness. No international law, no domestic legislation can determine and decide to put an end to people's memory and to impose reconciliation. It is a process of the soul, of the heart, of the mind of each individual, but successful only when it is guided, inspired by leaders of great vision and credibility. That was Sharana. Following independence, there were no dictators and people who were defeated. It was a country that was free. It was freedom that was attained. When freedom is attained, we cannot deny freedom to others who are on the other side. I often have said, and what I said in many other circumstances, in the Middle East, in the Balkans, in Southeast Asia, in many occasions. In victory, be magnanimous. Do not seek to humiliate further those who are defeated. If they are on their knees, invite them up, embrace them to join a new mission, a new enterprise of peace. And that is to be the attitude of the greatest leaders. Mahatma Gandhi taught us that many generations later, Nelson Mandela, and in our situation, Shanana Guru. And that's why after independence, there was no civil war, no hatred, no exclusion. And that's what Timor is. And that's why it has also been fast to reconcile with Indonesia. Indonesian sides show great statesmanship. Indonesian leaders of all persuasion. Maybe these come from a great civilization that is Indonesia. Indonesia comprises some very ancient civilization. When you have a long history of wisdom, sometimes even without you don't feel it, you know about it, you are inspired by these ancient wisdom. That you are greater when you know how to not to allow your feelings some type of bitterness, because sometimes separation creates bitterness. Create bitterness, particularly in those who feel that they lost something or they were rejected. So it requires great act of statesmanship, of wisdom, of courage, not to turn your back to those who say, we want to restart. And so Indonesia walked halfway and welcomed the head of friendship from the US. And today, there are no two countries in Southeast Asia or anywhere in Asia that have a greater relationship than people have in Indonesia. Thanks to the great wisdom of leaders like first B.J. Habibie, modern Indonesian leader who knew how to seize an opportunity in 1998, 1999, to guide Indonesia irreversibly toward democracy that today you are leading in, we are witnessing. And then came Ibu Mega and Mundur. Abdul Rahman Ibrahim, whom I met long before Timor-Leste independence in an event in Paris. I was not known, that was before the Nobel Peace Prize. I would go to almost every European country as much as I could, Paris particularly, not because of Paris, but because there was such solidarity with people there. And then one day there was a big event, Abdul Rahman Ibrahim will spoke. And I was surprised he mentioned Timor-Leste. And he said in very simple language, he said, there are some people, he referred to Timor-Leste people, said, there are some people who want independence. There are others who don't want independence. So one solution is a referendum. And I support the referendum. That's how we put it. And this is what happened in 1999. It was not for referendum, it was for popular occupation. Sometimes words are meaningless, what better is what is done. And that's where we are today. 20 years later, Timor is a part of our tranquility. We do not have political violence, zero political violence, zero active-based or religious-based violence. We have been able to consolidate our democracy every 5 years, cycle of presidential election and legislative election. The loser promptly acknowledged the result. The winners take office, continue the work of those who have just lost the election. There have been sometimes some complaints and so on, but usually losers always complain that the election is not fair. If they had won, the election was fair. If they lose, but that's again not only complaint, but very temporary, the last few hours of sentiment. Freedom House in Washington, the economists labeled Timor-Leste the #1 democracy in Southeast Asia. I would say more than Southeast Asia, compared with democracies elsewhere in South Asia or part of Northeast Asia. We are doing well. In terms of media freedom, Timor-Leste is rated number 17 in the world. All Western democracies, number 17. We are not very efficient in running the country. We often improvise, maybe the nature of people from islands. Although this theory is not very credible because the Bali is an island and they are very efficient. They work hard, but we often improvise. Or we do things last minute under pressure. If we are told we have 5 years to do this, well, 5 years not, right? So let's relax. And then 1 year before, 6 months before, everybody is in a rush. But that's very much the nature. But slowly over the years, the last 20 years, we have improved. Today we have hundreds of Timorees with master's degrees acquired in some of the best universities in Indonesia, but also elsewhere in Southeast Asia, like Thailand, the Philippines, Australia, in Europe. We have, until 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if you went to our central bank, if you went to the Ministry of Finance, any ministry, there will be hundreds of international finance for different nationalities. Today, our central bank is 100% run by our people. Almost all the ministries are run by people degrees, master's degree, PhD acquired around the world. So in terms of human resources development, our successive governments have invested. In the beginning, started in 2008, 2009, the government is now launched a fund called Human Capital Development Fund, $30 million a year, to send some of our best to some of the best universities in Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Australia, with our own scholarship, a partner scholarship that given by these governments. Today we can say that our democracy is irreversible. Our people might be many still illiterate, might be poor, but they understand the power of their vote. And democracies, as we know, we cannot take for granted. There are always challenges to democracy. We can witness in the United States, in the past previous elections, involving past president, and the case is still ongoing in the United States. And I mentioned that as an extreme example that we would not have thought possible that in the United States there would be technical regressions in Europe, particularly in Hungary, but also very conservative right-wing attempt at seizing power, not militarily, not through coup, but through in France. Fortunately, the French electorate has been very wise in choosing some of the best and reject extremist politics. But elsewhere, in Southeast Asia, Indonesia has been a vibrant example of successful transition to democracy. We live in troubling times, very difficult times, very dangerous. The war in Ukraine is the extreme example of how the old world order dominated by the United States and others of the permanent members of the Security Council, how the international security architecture created during at the end of World War II, which was supposed to prevent the reoccurrence of genocide. Well, it failed continuously. The failure of Security Council is not only now with Ukraine, not only with Syria, and not only with Yemen, and not only with the case of Palestine. And the failure of the Security Council goes back to the failure to prevent the Khmer Rouge genocide in Cambodia that very people forgot. But it was one of the most horrendous genocide in post-World War II. Or in 94 in Rwanda, right under the UN eyes, and the powers that be in New York failed to reinforce, to dispatch a stronger force to Rwanda to prevent the genocide. So it has been an tragic episode of failure of the post-World War II international security architecture that is supposed to prevent. But why we blame the system? No, we blame the people, the leaders. System can be the best designed system, the institution can be the best designed, following some of the most outstanding academic recommendations how a multilateral institution should be done. But people are the ones who make the institution function or fail. And the leaders of the powers that be, whether it is the United States, whether it is Russia, or others who have the privilege of being better members of the council, they are the ones who have failed. It is NATO and Putin that have failed in preventing the conflict in Ukraine from reaching the stage that it has reached, destruction of Ukraine, but also Russia. Russia will not come out of this conflict untouched. And I'm not referring only to the physical destruction also of Russia, of its economy and so on. But it's a country that after the end of the Cold War could have developed into a super modern economy, but it has relied mostly on oil, on military power. Yes, you know, in relation to the previous Soviet regime, but there will be soul searching in Russia, how this has been possible. But there has been soul searching in Europe. Why NATO has to expand after the dissolution of the Warsaw Pact? Why not negotiating a status of neutrality for Ukraine? The neutrality status for Ukraine would have benefited enormously Ukraine. Look at the example of Finland or Sweden and Finland before how they are now joining NATO. And then in Southeast Asia, ASEAN cannot ignore Vietnam. And of course, we cannot ignore. It has attempted to protect what is known as ASEAN centrality. The problem within ASEAN, as first responders to find a solution around the regional institution, but that's also in Africa. Africans always say African solutions to African problems. But sometimes the owners of the region, leaders of the region, also fail to resolve local problems through regional organizations. And this is not to say to criticize the regional leaders, as I said. The UN has failed in many instances of recent past, but I would not blame the Secretary General. These are nationalities, these calculations of different leaders, perception, history that shape the mindset of leaders, and we are at this situation. I end by commending President Fayoum, for being the only global leader who has traveled to both capitals, to both countries, Ukraine and Russia. The only one, and I hope that the two sides will seize on the opportunity offered by a leader of a country that's far away from the area of conflict, that has no direct interest with any of them, no territorial connection, no historical connection. He is the leader of G20 that can offer a more impartial understanding of conflict, and through which the two sides can back down with faith saving and save Europe and the rest of the world from this continuing economic and social calamity. And last but not least, today I met with visit the headquarters of Nadatul Ulama, Ahmadiyya, to reinstate to them my support to the two great organizations for the Nobel Peace Prize. I nominated 2 years ago, 3 years ago, continued to nominate. I recently nominated for the UNESCO Peace Prize, Rupert Wahi Peace Prize, and very soon for the Fayette Prize for Human Fraternity. Until recently, I was a member of a jury created by the Pope and the Grand Imam, Professor Fayette of Al-Azhar. I'm no longer a member of the jury, but remain associated with the humanitarian award, which every year seek to reward, seek to recognize people or institutions that contribute to global national peace, regional peace, or global peace. And that is with the signature here for the Zayed Award, Human Fraternity Award. Because this great country of yours, Indonesia, is one of the best, one of the best examples of inclusiveness, of inclusion, of tolerance, of acceptance, and at the same time of functioning democracy. Sometimes democracy can be divisive, sometimes democracy can be chaotic, but it's still the best of all other systems. Look at India, very chaotic democracy, great respect for India, 1.34 billion, and still a great dynamic democracy with all its imperfections. And Indonesia is another such example, not as chaotic as India. It's more organized democracy, more predictable, and so on. It's smaller in size, but even all the population. So it's a tribute to the leaders of Indonesia, a tribute to the leaders of India. Cite only the example of two great countries in Asia. And we're inspired by that. People let me hope that by November 2023, people will join ASEAN under Indonesia chairmanship. I started with my trip to Jakarta in June 74 when I met with Malik. Back then I was only 24 years old. I talked with Malik for people that joining ASEAN when we became, well, those who were frozen for 24 years, and then we reopened in 2011, applying for membership in ASEAN. I hope that we join soon. But sometimes ASEAN leaders make us feel that the road to the perfection of government is easier than the road to the gate of ASEAN. That sometimes we must first reach heaven before you can reach the great galactical life of happiness and prosperity of ASEAN. But I hope that today, under Indonesian chairmanship, we will get be the 11th member of ASEAN. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for listening to me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions